Welcome everybody. So today I'm going to teach you crisscross multiplication. Okay, it's a new type of method. So I hope everyone is interested. So keep your pens and paper ready. Okay, so now let's begin. What is this crisscross multiplication? Okay, so imagine for a 2 into 2 digit multiplication, okay, there are 4 digits involved, right? So of these 4 digits, the number of steps how we have to calculate is number of digits minus 1. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the number of steps will be 4 minus 1, which will be 3, right? So imagine these are the 4 numbers, 12 and 34. So we have how many digits here? 4 digits, right? So the number of steps will be total number of digits, that is 4 minus 1, which will be 3. So these are the 3 steps: I, X and I. Yes, this is step number A, step number B and step number C. Yes, so I'll explain in detail about these steps here. Yes, so let's take an example sums. Okay, let's take an example sums. 23 multiplied by 12. Okay, so how many steps are there? As I said earlier, there are like 4 digits here, so the number of steps will be what? Will be 3. Yes, now the first step is, these are the 3 steps here. Okay, let me write these numbers here for better understanding. 23 by 12. I would also request everyone to make a copy out of it so that you don't forget. Okay, so the first step is I. So in this I, we take two numbers here, 3 and 2, we multiply. Once we multiply 3 into 2, we get 6. We write that here. And now coming to the second step, we multiply these two numbers, cross multiplication. So 2 into 2 gives us 4 and 3 into 1, that gives us 3. So it will be what? 4 plus 3 will give us 7, which is already written here. Now coming to the last step, we take these two numbers and we multiply them vertically. So 2 ones are 2. So here is your answer, 276. Yes, 276 is your answer. Yeah, so I'm going to explain these steps once again. For those of you who are not yet or still in confusion, you could very well look at here. So the first step is the number of steps here involved. So the number of digits minus 1 gives us number of steps, that is nothing but IXI, which is already written here. So the next step will be to multiply these two numbers vertically, that is the first I. 3 2s are 6. Now the second step is to cross multiply. Okay, yeah, cross multiply these two numbers. 2 2s are 4. 4 plus 3 is what? 7. It's already written here. And the last step will be vertically multiply. 2 1s are 2. Yes, everybody understood? Now if you're still in some doubt, I request you to pause this video and just go back and play it once again and try doing it for yourself. Okay, for those of you who are very well who are clear with this method, we'll continue with one more sum. Yes, we'll do one more sum so that it becomes much better for you. Okay, so let's take this one. Let's take this. So 34 multiplied by 11. Yes, so how many steps are there? 1 2 3 4. There are 4 digits, so the number of steps will be 4 minus 1, which will be what? The number of steps will be 3. I've just written NOS, that means number of steps. Okay, make a note of it. So step number 1, we are going to multiply 4 into 1, right? 4 ones are 4. So that brings the end of step number 1. Now we have finished I here. Now the next step is X, and final step is what? Another I. So this one is over. Now coming to the second step, yes, we are going to cross multiply 3 into 1 and 4 into 1. So 3 ones are 3, 4 ones are 4. When you add, you get 7. So that brings the end of step number 2. Yes. Now the last step. Last step is nothing but another vertical multiplication. That is 3 ones are 3. So that completes the answer. So 374 is your correct answer. Yes. So everybody, you can make a note of it. Yes, you could also pause the video and make a note of it. Yes. So we'll move to the next one. You could try this sum 42 into 24. Yes. So I'll do it here aside because there is a carry forward involved in this particular sum. Okay. Yes, we'll do it here. So we'll all do it together. So step number 1, how many number of steps are there? So there are 4 digits. So the number of steps will be 3, I, X and I. Yes. So the first step is 2 into 4. You get 8. You write here 8. So that brings the end of first step. Now coming to the second step, you cross multiply 4 into 4, 2 into 2. So 4 4s are 16. I write here 16 plus 2 2s are 4. That gives us 20. So I write 0 here, and this particular 2 will be carry forward. It's a reminder. So you will be carrying it forward. Now coming to the last step, we will multiply 4 into 2. It gives us 8. 8 plus 2 is what? 9 and 10. So here is your answer, 1008. Understood? If you have not understood, just play the video once again. Yes, for those who have understood, just pause this video and make a note of these. Yes. I hope it's a very interesting method. Practice more sums. Yes. So we will see 3 into 3 multiplication in this particular method. Okay, there is no ending for this. You could do 2 into 2, 3 into 3, 4 into 4, any numbers. Yes. And few people might ask, if at all I get something like this one, right? 1 2 3 multiplied by is 23. So here this is a 3-digit number and this is a 2-digit number. So how to make it possible? Yes, very simple. You just add a 0 so that both these numbers become 3 into 3 digit. Yes, very simple step. Okay, now let me explain you the number of steps in this 3 into 3 digit multiplication. As I said earlier, there are 6 digits involved here. So the number of steps will be 5. Yes, I will change this color for better understanding. Yes, so 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 numbers are involved. So the number of steps will be 5 because number of steps will be what? Now total number of digits, that is 6 minus 1, which gives us 5. So these are the 5 steps: 1 2 3 4 and 5. I've written A B C D E. Okay, so there are totally 5 steps. In this 5 step, the first step is similar to which we did in 2 into 2 digit multiplication. We will take these two numbers and we will multiply them vertically. Okay, now this particular step is over. Now coming to, I'll write it like this: I, X, capital X, small x and I. So yes, this particular step is over. Now coming to step number 2, we take these two grids. Yes, now we cross multiply this with this and this with this. That completes step number 2, small x. Okay, now coming to third step, it's a very important step, so please pay attention, much focus here. Okay, so here what we do is we multiply these two numbers. Okay, cross multiplying these two numbers and cross multiply these two numbers. Okay, and finally the number which is at the center, no, this one, we will multiply them vertically. Okay, so these two edges which I mentioned highlighted in violet color, and these two which are in orange color, and finally the center number which are multiplied vertically. So that completes step number 3. So now we move to step number 4, which is actually a replica of step number 2. That is nothing much this B step. Okay, so I will use a different color here. So see here, we take this grid and we multiply these two numbers cross. Okay, and finally the last step, it is similar to the first step which we did I, but this time you are doing it for these two numbers. Okay, so that completes a complete 3 into 3 digit multiplication. Okay, so don't worry if you didn't understand. While we do sums, I'm sure you'll understand it better. Okay, for those who have not yet copied, just pause the video and make sure you are copying it. Okay, copy it very clearly, neatly, so that you don't get confused or forget. Okay, it might seem like little too much because you are all taught in a one particular way. This is a new method, so it will take little time for your brain to adjust. Don't worry about that, but once you're used to it, you'll be just rocking with this, I'm sure. Yes, now we will do this 302 into 121. Okay, yes, so 302 into 121. Okay, just pay attention here. 302 multiplied by 121. Okay, so the number of steps is how much? We have 6 digits here, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So the number of steps will be 6 minus 1, which will be 5. I'm writing the steps here. Okay, always these two ends, these two edges or ends, we are going to write x. I'm sorry, we are going to multiply it in vertical form, so we could write it like I. Now the centermost step, okay, be it a 2 into 2 or 3 into 3 or anything, it will be capital X. Now these two, it will be a little bit smaller in size compared to this capital X. I'll tell you why. Okay, yes, now this is a I, small x, capital X, another small x, and then a small I. This is step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, and step number 5. In first step, we multiply these two numbers vertically. So it gives us what? 2 ones are 2. That completes step number 1. Okay. Now coming to step number 2, we will take this grid. Yes. And we will cross multiply these numbers over here. So 0 into anything gives us 0. So 2 into 2 is 4. 4 plus 0 is what? Obviously 4. Now coming to step number 3, we will take the whole grid. Okay, we will take this entire grid and we will cross multiply these two numbers, these two edges. We will cross multiply this 3 with this 1, and we will multiply this 1 with this 2. So 3 ones are 3. I am going to write it here. Okay, 3 ones are 3, 2 ones are 2, and these two numbers 0 into 2, that gives us 0, right? So when you add 3 plus 2 plus 0, we get 5. I'm repeating once again. We multiply 3 into 1, this cross. We are multiplying these two numbers, and these two numbers finally. So 3 ones are 3, 2 ones are 2, 3 plus 2 is 5, and obviously 0 into 2 is 0. So that gives us 5. That completes step number 3. Yes. Now coming to step number 4, another small x, this one. I'll use different colors so that it's easily you're able to understand. Okay, this is step number 4. In step number 4, we take this grid, this particular grid which I marked in red. So here we cross multiply these two numbers. 3 into 2 is 6, 0 into 1 is 0. So 6 plus 0 is what? It's obviously 6. Yes, I made it thicker so that you can see it better. Now finally, this I, which is here, this is the last step. So what should we do? We should multiply these two numbers. 3 into 1 is what? 3. So here is your answer. 3, 6, 5, 4, 2. I hope everybody understood. If you're still having doubt, I would request you to watch the video once again. And for those of you who understood this, I will request you to make a note of this. Write it very clearly so that you don't forget. Okay. And there is no ending for this crisscross multiplication. You can do any number of digits. Okay. Like 3 into 3, 2 into 2, 4 into 4, 5 into 5. Okay. Always remember one thing. The two edges, no, which are at the end, last two extremes, that I thing, it will always be vertically multiplied. So you can write I, and the center step will be what? A big capital X followed by small x. Okay. Yes, you could try different numbers with this method. Okay. And we will see one more sum before we get on. We will see one more sum before I teach you 4 into 4 digit multiplication. So in this particular sum, 352 into 1 to 1, we will do it here. Okay. 352 multiplied by 1 to 1. Okay. So here we are having how many steps? There are 6 digits. So number of steps will be what? 5. It is nothing but I, as I said, a big capital X, another small x. This is what I told you actually. These two extremes, are always gonna be I. Okay, and the centermost thing will be the big capital X, followed by the small x over here and small x over here. Okay, so step number 1 is we are going to multiply these two numbers, 2 into 1, which will give us 2, right? Now step number 1 is over. We could tick here and we'll move on to step number 2. Step number 2, we will take this grid. 5 ones are 5, 2 twos are 4. So 5 plus 4 is what? 9. So that completes step number 2. We'll mark this here. And step number 3 is what? We take this whole grid, no? We take this whole grid. We cross multiply 3 into 1. You could write here 3. 2 into 1, it is 2. 5 into 2 is 10. We don't have anything carry. So I'll write it very clearly here that 10 is not visible. Okay. Yes, so it gives us 15. There is no carry forward with this 9. So there is no reminder. We could write it 15, 5 here, and 1 will be carry forward. You can write that one like this carry forward. Okay. Now coming to the next one, what is the fourth step? That completes step number 3. We could tick this. And step number 4, we are going to take this grid, right? This particular grid which I marked in black. Yes. So here another cross multiplication. 3 twos are 6, 5 ones are 5. So 6 plus 5 is 11. We already have 1 here as carry forward. So that brings us what? 11 plus 1 is 12. Yes. So again in that 12, 2 will be written and 1 will be a reminder. Now what are the last step? Very simple step. Simple step. You are going to multiply this 3 into 1. 3 ones are 3 and add 1 which is here. that is a carry forward. So 3 plus 1 is what? 4. So here is your answer, 42592. I hope everybody understood this. Okay, you could try different sums, try different numbers. It's all about practice. Try different numbers until you used to it. Okay, and I'm sure if you're practicing it daily, you'll be much more better at it. You'll do it much faster. Okay, so let's move on to this 4 into 4. Okay, there is no ending for this particular crisscross method. You just have to understand the basic technique. Okay, so see here, this is a demonstration of 4 into 4. This is not an actual multiplication. This is a demonstration of the number of steps here. Okay, so see here, in a 4 into 4 digit, we have, example, we'll take this one, 1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1. Okay, we have how many digits here? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 8 digits are there. So the number of steps will be 8 minus 1, which will be 7. So that is nothing but A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Those are the 7 steps. So we begin with A, that is nothing but this particular step, 4 into 1, that will be A. So you can write it, the number of steps, like this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So as I said earlier, don't forget to mark these two extremes as what? I. Now this is the centermost step. It will be the big capital X followed by medium X, and then small x over here and small x over here. Okay, that means 4 into 1 is 4. Okay, now the small x, this is 4. The answer is over. Now coming to the second point, we will take this grid. No, so now 3 ones are 3, 4 twos are 8. 8 plus 3 is how much? 11. I will write 1 here and 1 will be carry forward. You can write it like this here. Okay, now coming to step number 3, we will be taking this whole grid. I'm sorry, not this whole one, these first 3 numbers. First this one, second step this one, and third step is what? We are taking these 3 numbers. So cross multiply these 2 numbers as you did previously in 3 into 3. Now cross multiply these 2 numbers and finally these 2 numbers. So this step is also over. You could take it here. We got 11. So 2 ones are 2 and 3 fours are 12, 3 twos are 6. So it gives us what? 18 plus 2 is 20, and already 1 is here, so that is carry forward. 20 plus 1 is 21. So again 2 will be carry forward. Now that completes step number 3. We'll move on to step number 4. Okay, step number 4 is nothing but we are just going to take this whole, we're going to take this whole numbers. Okay, now we'll be multiplying these 2 extremes 1 into 1, which will give us what? 1, and then what? We will multiply these 2 numbers 4 into 4, which will give us 16. And now these 2 numbers 2 into 2, and make it a little thicker for you to view it better, 2 into 2 and 3 into 3. Okay, so these 2 numbers, and these 2 numbers at the center. So 4 ones are 4, I'm sorry, 1 ones are 1, 4 fours are 16, 2 twos are 4, and 3 threes are 9. So when you add, you could use this one. 9 plus 1 is what? 10. 16 plus 4 is 20. 20 plus 10 is 30, and already 2 is there as reminder. So 30 plus 2 is 32. So this 3 will be another carry forward. So this 4th step is also over. Now coming to step number 5. Before coming to step number 5, I want to erase this. Yeah, it looks much better, no? You'll not get confused now. Yes, coming to step number 4, we are going to take this grid, these 3 numbers, and these two and this one. So 2 ones are 2, 4 threes are 12. You can write it here if you want, somewhere over here or here. So I'm writing it here. So 2 ones are 2, 4 threes are 12, and 2 threes are 6, and already 3 is there as carry forward. So that gives us 12 plus 2 is what? 14. 14 plus 6 is 20. 20 plus 3 is 23. That brings step number 5. Okay, now let's move on to the next step. Step number 6. Here we take these two grids. Yes, 1 into 3 is 3. 4 into 2 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 9, 10, 11. 11 plus 2 is how much? 13. So 1 will be carry forward. Now the last step is you will multiply these two numbers. 1 into 4 is 4. 4 plus 1 is what? 5. So this is your answer. Yes. So don't stop here with this 4 into 4. Just look at the pattern and try 5 into 5. Okay. So try 5 into 5. Try different numbers. I'll just draw a pattern for this 5 into 5. So that you get an idea. Okay. See, for those of you who are just looking at it, it might look like it's a very long process, okay? But just remember, when you're doing it in a normal multiplication, how many steps are there, no? You're just going to put some x's and add some reminders, again multiply the whole number, this entire thing. This is what I'm saying. See, for example, 1 2 3 into 3 to 1. First you will multiply this 1 with these three numbers. Second step, you'll multiply again this 2 with these three numbers, then this 3. Again you have to write everything, you have to add everything. So comparatively, when you use this crisscross method, it is much better and very fast when you compare to traditional methods. Okay, only when you're it takes little bit time for your mind to adjust, so practice more. Once you're used to it, it'll be much faster, you'll be much faster. Okay, so let's draw a pattern, or let's keep it number of steps. Okay, number of steps for 5 into 5. I want you to practice that pattern. Okay, I will just write the number of steps for 5 into 5. So 5 into 5 means we have how much? 5 into 5 digits. We have how many steps? So imagine some number like this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. So here we have 10 digits, right? When I ask you to multiply something like this one, so the number of steps will be 10 minus 1, which will be what? 9 steps. So we will write it very clearly here. What are the steps? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, I could also number it. 9. Yes. Now, as I said earlier, these two extremes are always going to be what? They are always going to be I. That means vertical multiplication, these two numbers. Okay. Now, this is the centermost step. So this will be a big capital X. Yes, this will be identical. So always put I at the extremes and X at the center, that to a big X. Okay, now just reduce the size of X here. Okay, that means this capital X, you will multiply this whole thing, these two, these two, these two, these two. Now as this X goes, no, as this X reduces in size, we will first take these 4, then these 3, then these 2, and finally I will multiply this one. So don't stop here, friends. Okay, try different numbers and try different numbers. Check your answers if it is coming correct. Find out if you're doing it correct by checking the answers. Okay, It will take little bit time for you to adjust, but I'm damn sure once you are used to this method, no, you'll never go back to your traditional method. It is much faster. Other video. Until I see you next time, it's bye bye. Take care. Practice more. Teach others whatever you learned. Okay, so that you don't forget it. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day.